What's up everybody, and welcome back to my channel. The true OGs remember this shirt. It's the first one I ever designed 3 years ago, the feathers in my hair shirt. It's not on sale anymore, but I still do wear it quite often. Anyway, let's jump into this really serious topic at hand, which is Andrew Glennon speaking out against MTV choosing to allow Amber to play the victim on their very public platform in light of all of these very serious felony charges that she's facing after allegedly attacking Andrew while he was holding their son James. So the second part of the Teen Mom OG reunion aired last night. By the way, I haven't watched either of them. I was waiting for them both to come out so I could just binge in one day. And Andrew decided to take to Instagram to voice his opinions about the way that MTV has decided to, handle this very serious situation that he and Amber are in at the moment. He posted a photo of clouds, presumably taken from an airplane, and his son James as well, and left quite a few comments. The first of all being that he wished that he were asked to give an interview with Dr. Drew because that would be fair in light of the situation. A commenter asked him about the woman's hands that she could see in the photo, on the couch next to baby James. She's like, "Who's that? Is that the other woman that Amber was accusing you of cheating with?" And Andrew responded by saying, "Since you absolutely must know, it's our neighbor who invited James and I over for burgers. She's known Amber through her mat days, and her husband have been the kindest hearted people to James and I through this whole mess. Totally unbiased and sweet." Something that was really upsetting to see while I was browsing his comments was the amount of people, women no less, scolding him for deciding to get himself and his child out of this abusive relationship. They were like, "You should go and get her help. It's your responsibility as her boyfriend. She's the mother of your child. You should be with her and help her fight like her demons," which I think is absolutely shameful and ridiculous. No one needs to stay in an abusive relationship, child or not. And I'm glad that Andrew finally feels the same way, because remember, this is not like the first time that Amber has physically assaulted him. He admitted to the police that she has assaulted him many times and threatened to do so countless amounts of times. So he responded to that by saying, "I've made that cry for help on her behalf to literally everyone in her life. All landed on deaf ears of denial. She said herself to her psychiatrist that she felt like a ticking time bomb and didn't want the relationship to be sabotaged. He did nothing. Just wrote her a child's dose of medication. It's the saddest outcome. It was avoidable, but no one wanted to give support, or maybe they just didn't know what to do. I did my damnedest to keep everything together, researching new therapies, coming up with alternatives that just weren't heard, and now this. James deserves better." He followed it up by saying that, he's just learning all the signs and red flags and can't get in a similar relationship ever again. You know how Amber called Matt a narcissist on her interview special? Well, he fought back on Instagram in his comment. He said that one of his followers reached out to him, and it was through her that he learned what a narcissist actually was, and that Amber checked off every single box. So now it's just two people calling each other narcissists. Ha! Wow. Again, like I said earlier, it is so freaking irresponsible for MTV to give an abuser a platform to sit there and call her victim a narcissist. I am absolutely appalled at what happened on last night's Teen Mom OG special. His last statement about the situation came in the form of an Instagram story that read, and I quote, "You gave the abuser the platform to try to silence their victims." And that, quite obviously, is targeted towards Viacom and MTV for choosing to interview Amber and make her look sympathetic, allow her to play the victim, rather than speaking to the actual victim in all of this, who is Andrew. Even though I haven't seen the reunion yet, I've seen a lot of clips online, and I have to say that I'm disappointed in everybody that okayed this, including MTV, Viacom, Dr. Drew, Macy, Caitlyn, Cheyenne. This is really disturbing that they all chose to sympathize with the abuser and didn't really see a problem with the victim not getting a platform to share his side of the story. So from the previews that I've seen of Amber sit down with Dr. Drew, she was like, "How would anyone believe that I would chase after him with a machete? I haven't been in any trouble. I haven't been violent since getting out of jail," which is not true. We saw a couple reunions ago that she went and tried to physically assault Farrah, right? You know, among other things. And by not allowing Andrew to speak up, they allowed her to appear to be the victim, like to people who don't look online for information about this kind of stuff. And so that, you know, that in itself is a huge disservice to victims of domestic violence. I thought that the reason originally that Andrew was not featured on the reunion was because he didn't want to talk about it. But learning that he was not even asked to give his side of the story is really disappointing. Although Amber wants to act like nothing really happened to warrant her being charged with anything, we have to go back and remember that she is facing some very serious charges. These are not misdemeanors, these are felonies. So the 3 felonies that Amber's been charged with are domestic battery, criminal recklessness with a deadly weapon, and domestic battery in the presence of a child. I personally feel like for the police to even charge her with criminal recklessness with a deadly weapon, there must have been some kind of evidence there to prove that, you know, she hit Andrew with a lot more than just the shoot that she admitted to. So let's just go back to the police report that came out from that fateful night on the 4th of July of this year. The probable cause affidavit confirmed that Andrew sent a frantic text at 2 in the morning telling the police that he needed help and he felt like his life and his son's life were both in danger. And then they go on to say that in their interview with Andrew, he told them that Amber was so upset with him that she started striking him with her shoe on his neck. And the police saw the marks on his neck and took photos for evidence. He also told them that he was holding James at this time as well, which, as we all know, anyone who's carried an infant knows is incredibly dangerous, and he could have dropped the poor baby. Like I said earlier in the video, Andrew also told the cops that Amber has hit him several times in the past and threatened him so many times that he lost track. Amber actually did admit to hitting Andrew with the shoe, but she claimed that it wasn't a very hard hit and that it was on the shoulder and she barely touched him, which we all know is untrue considering the fact that the police have photographic evidence of contusions on his neck from her beating him with a shoe. So the fact that she would play victim and act like nothing happened and she's never been a violent person since she got out of jail, knowing that she admitted to being a violent person to the police officers, is ridiculous. The rest of the evidence in this case against Amber also includes an audio recording from the 5th of July morning, because this was happening really late at night, that it crept into the next day, and another audio from the 4th of July, which is when things originally started. They also have 3 ring videos against her, in addition to 22 photos that the cops took around the home. So, you know, one can only believe that of these 22 photos, some of them are from his face, his body, like his neck, maybe even like the slashings around like the doors that he claimed that she wielded the machete against him and their child as well. So I personally think Amber is cooked, like cooked in this case. And so, you know, with all of that being said, it's absolutely irresponsible and ridiculous for MTV to allow her to sit there and act like nothing happened that night, and to not even give Andrew the courtesy of inviting him on there to share his story as a survivor of this, you know, terrifying instance of domestic violence. I do hope that one day MTV does make this right and issue like a strong statement condemning Amber's actions, but you know, that might be too much to ask. I'm gonna watch the reunion specials tonight and then give a recap tomorrow so we could all talk about everything that went down in full. In the meantime, let me know all of your thoughts and opinions about how Andrew's been speaking out against MTV. Do you think he's in the right, or was MTV correct to stick with showing only Amber's side of the story on the reunion platform? Make sure to leave all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below, and as usual, we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.